Welcome to the Jesus Show. Not that one.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm in beautiful Hawaii. No, false. I am not in Hawaii. I'm at my house in Indiana. Why, you ask? Well, I'll tell you why once we get into the show. Um, Top of the show stuff, per usual. That's what the kids say, so it's cool. Don't worry about it. I know it's cool. Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure that I hit record on everything. Follow me on Instagram at the Jesus Show NTO, Twitter at Jesus Show NTO, Facebook, The Jesus Show Not That One, TikTok at The Jesus Show Not That One, YouTube, type in The Jesus Show Not That One or The Jesus Show NTO, and email me your questions, comments, and concerns, The Jesus Show NTO at gmail.com. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear, but Athanasios is losing his mind right now. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it, but I have the noise gate on to drown out sounds like that. So hopefully you guys aren't hearing it. And I have a fan up here that Jorge and Carla got us for the baby's room, but it's portable. So now I'm using it up here for el estudio. So I'm not dripping sweat like I have before. I don't think you guys have noticed, but it gets hot up here. And that's why I brought the fan up. And it feels quite nice. I have it pointing directly at me. It has 4 speeds. I have it, I believe, on the second setting. So it's not super, super loud. Yeah. Oh, do you hear that? There's a baby. I was going to record yesterday. Had everything planned out. And then 2 things happened. One, my brother said, "Hey, are we still going to record today?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I can't." And I said, "Why? What happened?" And he said he threw his laptop on the floor and then it broke. So he was like, "I can't do a Zoom call." And I went, "Okay." And then last night, we were trying to put Athanasios down. I was trying to put him down. I like to put him down. I don't know, just because I haven't been here, because I've been working almost every day since he's been born. And because I am around now, I want to make sure that I do, bath time with him, put him to sleep, and, just hold him as much as I can. So I put him down, and then he was out for maybe 10 minutes. Then he woke up. So I picked him up from his bassinet, and he had thrown up. So I wiped him off. And then I put him back to sleep. I put him down. And then he woke up again. And then it was like putting him down, picking him up, putting him down, picking him up. And then that took to about like midnight. I was like, fuck. And then by that time I was tired and I was like, shit. And I was supposed to be at work. And clearly I'm not. So let me tell you what happened. On the 28th of July, I was working a flight from Sacramento to Denver. And it was super early. Like I think I had a 4 a.m. No, I had a 3 a.m. wake up, 4 a.m. van for like a 4:35, maybe 4:40 show. It was like a 5 something push. It was too fucking early. I'm telling you guys. Early flights suck. I don't know how people do it. I mean, I've done it before when I used to fly. Sometimes I would take the first flight out or the earliest flight I could. Just because I was like, I just want to make sure that I'm there. If there's any delays, blah, 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 whatever. But now that I'm on the other side working them, they fucking suck. Because then I got to wake up early. And then I don't want to be there. Because then I'm grouchy. And then I have to I got to get my mind right because the passengers, you as a passenger, you did nothing wrong other than went click, click, click. I blame the company for allowing flights to take off before 6 a.m. I'm pissed that there's flights before 8 a.m. I know that's probably very unreasonable of me to say, but I hate I hate early check-ins. Anything before like 10 a.m., I'm not happy about, but whatever. It is what it is. And this is a job I picked, so that's on me. We get everybody on, we take off, and we start the service in the back. I'm sitting in the back with my back galley, and she gets the bar cart ready. She puts all the stuff that we need, and then we're pushing up the cart, and then I push the brake, and I push the brake, and I always make sure that the brake is on. So there's a green little lever and a red lever. So you hit the green lever when you want to move it. You hit the red lever when you want to stop it. Makes sense. So I push it up. I get to row 8. I push the red lever down. I let go. I ask the people at row 7, would you like something to drink? As I do that, I look at my peripherals, my peripheral vision, that the cart starts rolling back. I went, oh shit. So I grabbed it. When I grabbed it, I felt a pain here and here. And then like an hour later, I started getting lower back pain, mostly on my left side. Everything's on my left side. I was like, what the fuck? I had the cart and I thought to myself, did I make a mistake? Did I not push the brake incorrectly? So I'm holding the cart and I push the green lever and I move it. I'm like, okay. I make sure I'm looking at the brake now. And I push it all the way down. And I don't let go. And I just kind of like, I'm holding it, but then I'm not holding it with force anymore. Like I'm letting it move on its own. And it starts rolling back almost immediately. I went. So my back galley comes up with the snack cart. And I said, hey, can you put the brake on the bar cart for me? She goes, yeah. So she puts it on and she goes to let it go. And then it starts rolling on her. She's like, oh, the brake isn't working? Now that's what I thought. What I like to do is when I ask somebody to what we call cross-check, when I want them to verify what I see, smell, hear, anything, we call it cross-check. I think that's a good way of explaining it. I hope it is. So I just asked her, hey, can you, instead of saying, hey, the brake doesn't work, can you try to, because then I'm in the person's mind, right? Then I'm planting a thought. I don't want them to go, oh yeah, like say something that's incorrect. Or better yet, make sure that I'm not lying or make sure that I'm doing things correctly. That's why I told her, I said, hey, can you put the brake on? And I didn't tell her it wasn't working. I was holding the cart just in case it started rolling back because I didn't want it to hit her. And then she verified for me, yeah, no, the brake's not working. And then I, again, pushed the green lever, made sure the red lever was down. And then I'm going like this and the brake didn't work at all. And that's how I got hurt. And it pisses me off that things like that happen to us because I'm trying to say this without, no, fuck it. I mean, I'm not using the company's name, so I don't give a shit right now. It pisses me off that the company doesn't give a shit enough about giving us equipment that works properly, safely. I mean, I know our catering people. I know everybody has a lot of things on their plate, right? But I can't incorrectly arm a door, and then we just take off like that. That's not a thing. I can't incorrectly verify the exit rows. before we take off. I can't. I'm trying to think of things that, not that people can't, but shouldn't. And more so safety related. Like, I can't incorrectly assess my safety equipment because God forbid something were to happen and I need a piece of equipment and it's not working properly. That's on me because I didn't check it correctly. And then if something were to happen, I can get in big trouble. If somebody gets hurt and somebody needed an oxygen bottle and I didn't check that the levels were correct, I can get in big trouble. And it just sucks that it seems like other departments in our company can get away with not doing their job properly. And then it comes down to us, the flight attendants, who we're supposed to be the ones who are supposed to do our jobs 100% correctly at all times. And if we don't, we get in trouble. The gate agents, they tell us that they're short-staffed. Okay, I don't give a shit. Fix it. Because us as flight attendants, we're not the gate agents. We can't rebook you for stuff. We can't hold the plane for you if you're going to be late. We can't see where your bag is. There's a lot that we can't do that people think we can and we have control of, but we don't. I can't check or I can't talk to the next flight. There's a lot of things that we can't. What I can do is I could give you something to drink and something to eat on the flight you're on with me. I can make sure that you're safe on the flight that you're on with me. That's as far as, or that's all I can do. When there's delays, sometimes we don't even know what's going on because they don't tell us. There's passengers who they'll pull up the app and they go, "Hey, it says," and I go, "Oh, I didn't know because nobody's told me anything." And it sounds weird because I've had passengers tell me, "Well, but you work here." And I go, "You would think that they would inform us a lot more, but they don't." And they don't, and it's embarrassing because how do you have somebody working for your company and then not know a lot of things? Especially like, when are we leaving? I don't fucking know. I don't tell people that. I don't say I don't fucking know. But I tell them I don't know. I wish I did. The moment I find out, I'll let you know. Sometimes the gate agents, they'll know. And then I'll be like, "Hey, do you know when we're leaving? Have you heard?" "Oh yeah, they called like 10 minutes ago and they said, blah blah blah." Why didn't you tell me? Why aren't we telling the passengers? Why? There's sometimes where the flight deck, the captain or the first officer, they'll call and they say, "Hey, what's going on?" And they tell them the same thing. "Oh, well, we don't know yet." And then sometimes I'll find out, or the flight attendants will find out things, and then we tell the captain or the first officer, and they go, "Wait, who told you?" And we go, "Oh, well, they told us." "Why didn't they tell us?" "I don't know." And then they have to figure out why weren't you guys telling us, the people that are like flying the plane? It's a weird, frustrating part of the job. Oh, what I was gonna say about the gate agents, like they'll show up late for boarding, and then it's just like, "Oh, well, we didn't have enough we didn't have enough gate agents, and they were working this one." And I don't care. I could give three shits if you don't have enough. Fix the problem, because us as flight attendants, we can't show up to the plane late, even if we're a minute late. There's been people that get in trouble. They get a talking to. That why were you late? What was going on? We get all this shit for that. But then the gate agents, they just stroll in and, "Oh, I didn't even know I was working this flight because they just pulled me for." The fuck are we doing? And then I think to myself, when I hear things where people say like, "Oh, well, your airline sucks," I think, well, yeah. I mean, it kind of does, because none of this shit should be happening. None of this. And it just gets down to, if you want me to do my job properly, safely, give me the tools that I need and make sure that they work so that I don't have to get hurt. Because even now, just holding my son, if I'm standing up, it hurts. I have to hold him on this side. And even that, my lower back starts hurting a little bit. And then I'm sitting down holding him, then he's on me, which is fine. But it just sucks because, like, now I have to sit down. Like, I can only sit down and hold my son just because my fucking job doesn't know how to make sure a cart, works. Or, yeah, they're not making sure that the carts work. And these bar carts are fucking heavy. That's my rant for the episode. But yeah, so now when I got into Denver, I was supposed to work to Pittsburgh, and then I still had another day on the trip. I was going to go Pittsburgh, San Fran, Chicago. But when I got to Denver, I was like, nah, this shit hurts. So they sent me to the clinic. Here's the other fucked up part. I think so they gave me 2 points. So we have this stupid fucking point system. And a sick call is 2 points. So they've given me 2 points for getting hurt on the job. Which is fucked up. I think they initially do it and then I give them all the doctor paperwork and this, that, whatever. Then they take them off. But I think it's fucked up that they give it to you from jump. Like, why do you have to do that? Why don't you not give anybody points? And then you see what happened. And then if it turns out the person lies or I don't even know what else. But if you have to give the person points then, give the person points then. I don't like that they give you the points and then they take them off. Like, what's the point of that shit? Don't give it to them or don't give the points to them. The other fucked up part is when this is something totally, completely different. But I had to call in sick. I was talking to our FMLA people and they said, do this. Okay. And Allie was the one that talked to him and they said, do this when your son's born. So you make sure you don't have to work your trips and you can stay home and be with your child. Okay. So I called in and then the lady goes, okay, well, we're going to give you a missed trip. So a missed trip is I didn't show up for work and I didn't call anybody. I just magically didn't show up. Nobody knows where I'm at. They don't know why I didn't show up for work. It's a missed trip. It's a really bad thing to have. Some people wake up late, they, miss their check-in, whatever it is. I've never had one, and I hope I never have one. So when I called, I said, but wait, you're giving me a missed trip? And the lady goes, yeah, we have to code it as a missed trip first. And then after all the paperwork gets approved, then we take it off. And I go, yeah, but isn't that messed up, though? I said, I'm trying to stay home to be there to witness the birth of my child. You don't think that's messed up? And she's like, I don't. And I go, I know. I shouldn't be upset at you. I go, I know you don't make the rules. But it just sucks that I got a missed trip and then they had to take it off because I wanted to be around for my son when he was born. That just seems like a real fucked up corporate thing to do or a company thing to do. It's fucking stupid. Then what pisses me off even more is that my supervisor then emails me. Mind you, I've had communication with her about, hey, I'm going to have a baby, my wife's going to have a baby. This was like a month out. And then closer to the date, it was like, hey, my wife's going to be induced at this time. Like what? So it's not like she was completely out of the loop. She could have checked the emails between us before she even sent me this email. She sends me an email and goes, "Hey, I see you got a mistrip for these days. Can you explain what happened? Oh, and by the way, you have like a day to get back to me because I need your statement like within a day." I'm assuming if I wouldn't have given her that statement, I would have had a mistrip. Like, oh well, there's nothing we can do. You didn't reply to us, which is stupid because why do I have to reply? Why can't, as a supervisor, you do your job, do some digging, and go, oh, okay, here we go. But I feel like these supervisors, their default is, well, tell me what happened. I don't want to go back and look through our conversations. I don't want to have to do any extra work. Tell me why. That pissed me off. And I sent an email back to my supervisor and I told her, I said, we've talked about this before. I gave you the dates before. I told you my wife was going to be, giving birth. He was born on this day. I was told to do this. And now they're telling me that no, I can't get that from LA. And then these people are telling me that you have to take care of it. I don't know what's going on. And then I get an email like 4 days later, which is fucking stupid because they're like, hey, you have to email us back immediately. But then they take their sweet ass fucking time. Then she gets back to me and goes, oh, yeah, we took care of it. I didn't say anything, but I wanted to tell him I should have never, like, this email should have never happened. Like, this is fucking stupid. It's, again, I chose this profession. This is on me. I'm just venting about the stupid shit I have to deal with. And now you guys know what I have to deal with. I have my run of show, and there's a lot of things on here that I haven't talked about that are kind of old in my head. There's a note here. Did you guys ever watch Cesar Millan? I've been watching more of his YouTube videos recently. I don't know what it is about that guy, but like the way he, and I know it's TV, I know it's edited, I know there's probably, there was that take, let's start from one. But I don't know, Cesar Millan to me he's dope. I like him. I remember when his show first came out, I watched it all the time. And then at some point I stopped watching him. But I don't think his show got picked up. Like, let's say it was on for 7 seasons. I think after that, then I stopped watching or really paying attention. Because, your interests move, change. But the past like 6 months, I've been watching a lot of his stuff on YouTube. I'm like, oh yeah, Cesar Millan. He's dope. I like that guy. Did you guys watch Obi-Wan on Disney Plus? Also, I hope I'm not, because I haven't erased any of these because I don't think I've talked to them or talked about them. And I hope I'm not repeating them. But if I am repeating them, that's my fault. I should be doing better. That's not on you. That's on me. Anyways, Obi-Wan on Disney Plus. Did you guys watch it? It's dope. The only thing, not the only thing, one of the things I didn't like about the show is, spoiler alert. We know, like, they can make 20 seasons of that show. But we know what ends up happening. At the end of that show, Darth Vader's not going to die, and Obi-Wan isn't going to die. So it's kind of like, so what's the point? Not that I need one of them to die for me to be interested, but then you're going to have to, like, it would be a lot of supporting characters, storylines, and you can kill them off. But you can't kill off Darth Vader and you can't kill off Obi-Wan. They can have these epic battles, but it's like, yeah, but I know how this ends though. So it's odd. it's odd for me because I like a lot of the story, but then when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader were fighting, I was like, yeah, but I mean, nobody's gonna die. So what's the point of this fight scene? I was a little conflicted. Um oh, and the actress that played third sister, man, good. I mean, more than good. Fantastic. Fantastic character and fantastic acting. Um cuz she makes you hate the character, but then she reminds me of a Darth Vader to where you're like, yeah, get him, kill everybody. Um so yeah, I really like that that about Obi-Wan. Did you guys watch Stranger Things? The newest uh season, Stranger Things 4? Before I saw it, I don't think I'm saying anything spoiler alerty-ish. Um but maybe? No, I won't. You know what? I'm going to say spoiler alert just in case. So one more time. Spoiler alert just in case for Stranger Things 4. I heard that it was before I watched it, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's very demonic and super scary." And then I watched it and I thought, what part of it was demonic and what part of it was super scary? But then again, I don't find a lot of things scary. Um and I think it's because I've been around a lot of movie sets and TV shows where I see them filming things and I know how they film things. So when I see something, I go, like if I see a scary movie and something happens, I go, "Oh, was that a digital effect? Was that a, digital effect or special effect, or was that a practical effect? How would you accomplish that?" And then I think, well, I would do this. Um, I would have them do this. I would film it like this. I would have, the person do this, and then I would, come this way or that way. So then I start having a conversation to myself about how I would shoot that particular scene. And most times, 9 times out of 10, as I'm talking to myself about how I would shoot it, it's the exact same way how you see it on the screen. Um, there's sometimes that I notice that there's a visual effect, and I think to myself, why did they go with the special effects when you can do that with a practical effect, and you're saving tons of money, and it would look better. Like I was just listening to the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast, and they made a good point. There's an episode where Charlie, I think they solved the gas crisis. Charlie pulls out a Zippo lighter, and they used, as they're talking about the episode, they said that they use a special effect flame. And the reason for that is because they said they were filming at a gas station. So because of safety, they didn't want to light, have a real flame around gasoline. So things like that I don't think about sometimes initially. And I have to think about oh, maybe they did it. Maybe they use a visual effect because of, as to where practical effect wouldn't be safe. So sometimes I have to think about that. And sometimes I think about all these things. Then I think to myself, where's the boom mic? How many cameras did it take to shoot this one particular scene? Sometimes I think, well, why not an over the shoulder shot of the actor facing the monster? That would be kind of cool. Maybe, kind of from above. So these are a bunch of things that run through my head. And then I also think about oh, I wonder how many times the actors broke. How many takes did it take to get through this scene? Were they laughing? because like you see it on screen and you're like, oh my God, this is such a tense, scary moment, right? But who's to say that they were like, all right, rolling action. And then they're saying the line and then somebody fumbles a line and then they say, ah, ha, 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 and they cut. Or better yet, they don't cut. They just, okay, let's take it from the top. Take it from one. Or, okay, take it from the line. Blah, 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 blah. Take it from there. Let's go again. Like, how many times did they do that is what I think about. So when I'm looking at films, TV shows, especially the scary ones, when they're supposed to be scary, I like transport out of that scary mode and I go, I wonder. And then, like I said, I started having these conversations. I started thinking about other things. To where then people are like, oh my God, this is so scary. I'm like, what are you talking about? I go, oh yeah, that's right, because it's supposed to be scary. Got it. But if you haven't seen Stranger Things at all, you should. I think it's a good series. If you haven't seen Stranger Things, the 4th season, you should watch it because it's good. I'm interested to see after this one that just played out. I wonder what the next one's going to be all about. How they're going to tie it all together. And I think I read, did I read or maybe somebody told me? I think the 5th season is going to be their last one, or they might go to a 6th season and then that might be their last one. I don't know. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that show. Oh yeah, this is something that I've been working a lot in the back, in the planes recently. And I think to myself, how do people sit in the airplane? Like, how do people sit in the last row of the airplane in the back? At least on us. Because you can't recline back. So you're sitting up straight. And then you have no leg room. Like, this is your legs, right? You're like that. And then the seat's like right here. So if the person moves their seat back, they're like in your knees. I don't know how people do that. Maybe for like an hour. No. Yeah. Hour flight tops. That's fine. Because I've had to sit in uncomfortable seats for about an hour. I've had to sit in uncomfortable seats for a cross-country flight. That fucking sucks. There was a couple times when we would come visit Jorge and Carla, Allie's mom and dad. My mom and dad now. We'd come visit, or Allie was here already, and then I would come to meet up with them, and I'd have to go from LA to Chicago, and I'd be in the back somewhere. I was like, this fucking blows. The only thing that saved me is that I was able to get up from the seat and go to the back of the plane, hang out while the flight attendants did their service, or sometimes even if I knew somebody, I'd sit in the back with them because I'm allowed to sit in the jump seat. We'd be talking, bullshitting, so I didn't have to stay in my seat only for takeoff and land. But even just sitting there for, I don't know, the 10, 15 minutes, that sucked. I was like, dude, fuck this. I don't know how people do it. I really don't. I feel like everybody should, like, nobody's going to buy any more seats until airlines give everybody the ample amount of space that someone should have. Like, you can pay more for extra leg space. Fine. If, I know airlines are always going to do that shit. But at least in the back, fuck, man. Like, they don't have to be right like this. Maybe spread it out like 2-3 inches. And I know, I get it. If you do it 2-3 inches in this row, you have to do it to the next one and blah, 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 blah. But fucking take some of those goddamn seats out. Some of these bathrooms are bullshit. Some of them, like, you walk in and the wall is like this. So it's like really close to you here. And then it kind of goes out just a little. Like beneath your waist. Just because it's like, oh, okay, well, people can be squished in right here, but then, where they're going to take a shit and piss, like, I guess we have to give them a little bit more room. Like, it's fucking stupid. The bathrooms just should be the bathrooms. Like, just give me some good space where I can, have some space. Everything's fine. And then give me some extra space in the fucking seat. Like, this squishing everybody together is stupid. And it's a little irritating that so many people pay it and deal with it. Like, well, there's nothing we can do. I think there is something we can do. If nobody bought tickets for a while, and if people are like, we're specifically not buying tickets because your seats fucking suck, and if an airline is losing millions and millions of dollars, I think that we go, okay, we're gonna fix this real quick. But I don't know if that would ever work. Oh, there was a story here. There was a story here that one of our van drivers in Kona, the guy was just being a dick. I mean, I guess I kind of remember it, but I kind of don't either. Oh, now when I see babies smile on the plane, mostly at work, when I see, babies smiling and stuff at work, it's hard for me not to smile. I'm like, oh, look at the baby. And I think it's because I have a baby now. I'm like, oh, haha. And when they're cute babies, I'm like, oh, I just want to hold the baby and play with the baby. But I know I don't, because that would look and sound weird. Just some random guys like, hey, can I play with the baby? I'm like, absolutely not, you weirdo. No. But I am, before, I would say, when Carrie had Daniel, I was around when he was a baby. But I don't know, I never really thought about, like, I was never really sympathetic to other people that had babies. And then it wasn't until when Greg had Jason, then I was more sympathetic with people with babies. And then I got this job as a flight attendant. And then it was a combination of AJ and Megan having Noelle and Greg coming over all the time with Jason. Then I was like really sympathetic to people with babies on planes. I was like, oh yeah. Like there's times where people have told me, can you do anything about that baby? And I go, no. What would you like me to do? They just kind of, well, the baby's loud. I go, well, think about it this way. You only have to hear the baby during the flight. They have to hear the baby the rest of their lives. Or at least for the rest of the time, the baby's going to be a baby. So I don't know what to tell you. And then they've just kind of like look at me. And I hope that they realize how stupid their request is. Because, like, what do you want me to do about a crying baby? You want me to go tell the parents, hey, can you shut your baby up? Because I'm sure the parents are like, I want the baby to not be yelling and losing its mind. But, there's definitely there's a lot of parents that they're trying to stop the baby from crying. And I have seen parents on the plane where they're not doing shit. Like there was this guy, he had the baby on him. He had the baby like strapped to him, and he's passed out. And the baby's like losing its mind. And the dad was sound asleep. I was like, man, that sucks. But I mean, there's nothing that I can do. So, but yeah, when I see a baby now and they're smiling, I'm like, hey, look, it's a baby. My brother. Oh, I was going to have Greg on the show. Wait, I told you guys already. Yeah, I told you. I was talking, the last time I was in Maui, I was walking from the resort to the ABC store, and I was talking to Greg, and he told me a story about how the McDonald's up where he lives, they had like rats, so they had to close it down and like redo everything, deep clean, and then they reopened. And Greg was like, I don't know. He's like, because the same people are gonna work there, and they're the ones that let this place turn into shit. I was like, that's a really good point, Greg. Then he also said he feels like America and McDonald's are in this toxic relationship. And I said, how so? And Greg says, how many times do you go to McDonald's and they get your order wrong? I thought about it and I go, well, let's say I go to McDonald's 5 times. They fuck up my order at least twice out of the 5. And he goes, yeah, but you keep going back, right? I go, yeah. He goes, why do you keep going back? I go, well, because I want to eat McDonald's and I don't know. He goes, do you ever think about them fucking it up again? I go, yeah. He goes, but do you think to yourself, maybe they'll get it right this time? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah. It's like, he's like when somebody's in a toxic relationship and, you know, let's say the one person's hitting the other person. People are like, why don't you just leave? And they go, they're going to get better. Maybe next time it's going to be, maybe next time it's going to be different. It's not going to happen always. And he goes, but it kind of does. It always happens. And I mean, thankfully, I've never been one that when they've gotten my order wrong and I notice it, because normally before we leave the area, the parking lot, I'll have Allie check like, hey, do we have everything? Yeah. Okay, cool. But there's been times where we don't have everything. And then, I'll park. I go inside. And I go, hey, you guys forgot this or I didn't get that. I've never yelled. I've never been one to be like, are you fucking stupid? None of that. Thank God. But then you see these videos of like people losing their minds over, some forgotten McNuggets or a cheeseburger or French fries. And I think to myself, clearly this isn't about the food. Something is happening in your life and the forgotten food is what pushed you over the edge. But then I think, like, how unstable are you that is going to push you over the edge? There's been a few times where not just with McDonald's, but Burger King, Wendy's, any fast food place. When I've ordered something and I don't realize before I leave the parking lot that I'm missing something until I get home, sometimes I'll write an email. And even in the email, I'm like, hey, I went to this location at this day and it just sucks because I paid for this and I didn't get it and it's just disappointing. Maybe we can try to be more, maybe you guys can try to be more, aware of, food items, whatever. And then most of the time I've gotten like, here's like $20 on us. And I don't do it for that. I do it for my own satisfaction. Like it makes me feel better that at least I'm telling somebody, I'm saying something. But yeah, that McDonald's, like the amount of times that they forget shit, I'm like, whoa, like I should never come back. But their fries are too good. I'm going to call Greg real quick. Let's see if he picks up. Let's see if my brother picks up. See if he picks up. If he doesn't pick up, I'm going to be pissed.
Hola, Polaco.
Hey, you're on the podcast.
How's it going?
How are you doing?
I'm not on the podcast because I'm not sitting like on your camera and like that,
True, but your voice is on the podcast.
That's indubitably.
So you are
Yes.
you are half on the podcast.
I'm halvesies? No, fullsies.
Fullsies. Yes. Hey, real quick, I was telling them that you were supposed to be on the podcast.
Yes.
And you're not because you threw down your laptop? What happened?
No. So, I didn't throw it down.
Oh, you kicked
I
it?
got yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
I'm sitting here.
blame the person who actually broke it, which is
I mean, we gotta put people on blast.
yeah. Put him on blast. Put him on blast.
All right. It was the Nino. It was the sequel to Jason.
Born Identity Supremacy Ultimatum. God damn it, Jason.
So I'm sitting there eating my delicious teppanyaki rice, fried rice. That is
Nice.
one of my favorite places to eat. So even eating it the day after, because I specifically got an extra order of rice for the day after.
Okay.
And yeah, and I'm thinking, well, not thinking. I'm in like a just a state of bliss. I'm having the greatest time of my life because I'm eating
As
this.
you're eating it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm watching one of my favorite YouTubers, and I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah, nice. I'm enjoying the video, and then all of a sudden, I see a controller go right by my face
Woo.
and straight to the laptop.
Woo.
Poof, and I go, oh, what? Yeah. So and so the it wasn't, my first thought wasn't like, oh, it's or it's broken, or
Yeah.
it wasn't that. It was the fact that, first of all, with that video that I was editing that I just uploaded, I had a tough time in the beginning editing it, like organizing all the clips. So that was frustrating already. I was getting
So
mad.
you've done
And
a lot of
then-
work to the video.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I started to get in a groove of what I wanted to do with it. And then that happened. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my first thing was like, fine. As if that's how it is, it's fine. I just got to find a way where I could save it as it is.
Did you?
Well, that's the thing where I was like freaking out. And so Kat came quick. She's like, hold on, we'll try to figure it out. She was gonna try to connect to another monitor, but
Dumb.
I didn't
Control
have
Alt Save. Duh. Obviously.
yeah.
I don't even think that's
I
a
forgot
thing.
about that one, dude. I forgot about that one. No, you're right. I forgot about that one. It instantly saves. The cool thing is that where it hit, I still had like the top view of the laptop, so then I could. Then Kat found out screen mirror to the TV.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So then that's what we
Okay.
did. I was like, all right, cool. And then I was just gonna save it right there. Like, fine, whatever. It just like, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as I could save it. But then she was like, well, just edit from there. And it was kind of weird because there's like a little delay.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
because
I was
there's a
able to
lag.
get it. Yeah, but we were able
But
to.
it worked
I was
out.
like, oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
So then,
So you already
That's-
took your laptop to get it fixed?
yeah, so like maybe in 4 days.
Okay. So in about 4 days, I'm gonna have Greg on the podcast officially,
Cool.
face and all.
I just hit the phone. Sorry if you heard that.
No, it's okay. Hey, I was telling the story real quick. Remember when I was in Maui and I was walking
Maui.
Maui to the ABC store, and then you started talking about McDonald's?
Oh yeah,
Do you remember what we talked about?
McDonald's.
How they're dicks? Because you were like, it's kind of like a bad relationship where we keep going back and they keep forgetting stuff. So it's like in a relationship when one person hits the other one and everybody else is like,
Yeah.
why do you keep going back? And you're like, they're gonna change. It's gonna be different this time.
Yeah, no, and they don't, and
They
that's
don't,
the thing that's
yeah.
so frustrating.
Every
But
time
then
they
the
don't.
thing is, the thing is, then you go like, who are you gonna go complain to though?
True.
To what, right?
True.
Like it's just someone else that just goes, okay, we're sorry, and then but then you go back, right? You go back because you're like, fuck, man, you guys, it's a convenience thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, not only that, I keep going back because of the delicious hot fries.
Well, it's a fries, and then man, you know, so I'm cool with.
Can you tell Greg's pissed?
I'm cool with the. It's just so the breakfast I'm cool with. The their food. Like I'm cool with here and there.
Real
It's
quick,
just these kids.
real quick for the breakfast. Do you prefer a sausage McMuffin or sausage biscuit or an egg McMuffin?
A sausage McMuffin.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
What?
It's okay. So check this out. With like,
Ugh.
no, it's not. It's a good. It's good.
It's good?
I like. Yeah. So like anything with bacon, anywhere, I don't eat it because I'm very particular with my bacon. I like my bacon at crispy. All right.
Yeah.
And sometimes if people are like, oh, maybe it's about to burn, it's like, no, it's okay. Put it a little more.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't get nothing bacon.
That's a good
Really
point because
anywhere,
normally when you have it on sandwiches like that, it's not crispy. It's very soft.
Nope.
And like chewy, and you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
I
Good point, Greg.
That. So that's why I don't ever go the bacon way unless it's like at a good place, you know.
Yeah. No. If it's
like,
if it's like at a restaurant or like mom and pop place, then yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna do it.
Sure.
They're gonna do it as really good.
Yeah, they know how to do it.
Yeah.
But not at like McDonald's.
No, Pitonas, they have all the bacon just sitting in a little tray, and then they just take it out, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how bacon's
here's
supposed to be.
some pieces of rubber.
Yeah. Hey, well, What? Go ahead.
No, I say these kids could eat McDonald's like literally every day. I'm like, no.
Every day.
No. Yeah.
Speaking of every day, I was telling, man, I can't remember. Oh, I think Jorge brought up something about Nacho Libre.
Uh-huh.
And then I started quoting it, and I was like, I sit in my room all alone. Every night is the best. It was good.
I can't help but like every day quote about movies 50 times or more.
Have to. Like sometimes our conversations between me and Greg are all quotes. and that's how we talk, but we understand what we're saying. So that's really all that matters.
Or sometimes like quotes will like, let's say you'll say something and then I'll say like a little quote something and then we'll just keep going. And sometimes like they're not really acknowledged. They're just like, oh yeah, we know. Yeah. No, that's good. But the quotes are said.
Hey, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna end the podcast. But thank you for picking up.
Heck yeah.
And the moment.
Thank you for having me on. And hello to all. You're all awesome. We love you all.
You hear that? We love you all.
Yeah.
The moment your laptop gets fixed and we can do a Zoom call, we're gonna do that.
I promise you.
So for the next, hopefully for the next episode.
I had everything set up and then boom. I was like,
real quick. Okay. Can I share the picture you sent with me to show them why you're not on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
For sure.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Later.
All right. Bye-bye. Love you.
Be safe.
All right. Bye. And that's why Greg wasn't on the podcast. Yeah, I think that's a good stopping point. Thank you for coming back, guys. Thank you for listening, watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, everything you do. I wouldn't be anything without you. We'll see you next week, and hopefully I'll have Greg on. And I'm gonna try bringing guests back on, because I've strayed away from that, and I definitely want to get back into that. So stay tuned. Thank you for everything, and we'll see you next week.